peace, and love, family. Get ready to embark on a transformative journey as we dive into the world of manifestation, astro numerology, and self discovery with Kimberly, visionary mindset coach who's redefining how we unlock our true potential.
Yeah, BTV Productions, the Cultural Preservation Station. Tune in. Tune in. Hey yo. Black education, cultural preservation, tailored BTV because elevation. Tune into the station, we rockin' the whole nation. That's right, we rockin' the whole nation, prepping new generation for mental activation. Tailored BTV's the new sensation. Stop the hesitation and learn something new. My girl Taylor B's here to show and prove.
Welcome to Cultural Reflections, the podcast that illuminates the voices and experiences that shape the positive aspects of the cultural landscape. I am your host, Queen B, the cultural preservationist, guiding you to those people behind those voices and experience that make Black education empower true vision. So, without further ado, let's get started and welcoming our guest, the visionary metaphysician, astro numerologist, and manifestation mindset coach, Kimberly, to the BTV platform, Cultural Reflections. Welcome,
Queen.
Kimberly. Hi, thank you so much, Kimberly. Welcome to BTV. It's an honor to have you here. And I just want to welcome you to our platform and I want to thank you for all your support. Welcome to Cultural Reflections.
Thank you for welcoming me and thank you for having me on your platform. Thank you. I love what you're doing. And it's an honor to be able to be sitting here with you today. And that introduction was so good. I might even ask you to replay it later on so we could hear it again.
You don't have to worry about that, Queen. It's no problem. I'm just so excited to have you here. For me, it's a one personal year. So it's fun for me and it's exciting. And I know you're a Leo. So I know in the one personal year, Leos are going to be set out to help me in some way or be attracted to the things I'm doing. And we're probably going to be doing some of the same things. So I just want to thank you. You're a visionary person. Everything that you're doing over on your channel is really transformative for the community. And that's right up our alley over here on BTV. We're the cultural preservation station. We're the cultural transformation station. So we want to make sure that we get that good information out to everybody in the community to give them a chance to really change their life around. So let me ask you, Kimberly, where are you from or where are you located at? Where do you reside at?
I reside in Washington, D.C.
Nice. Oh, so the capital. Okay, cool.
Yes, but this is
Yeah.
not my original home. I come from the southern part of the East Coast, North Carolina. But I've
Oh,
been here in
cool.
DC for about 10 years, 11 years now.
Cool. I love DC. I went down there a few years back for a reparations rally. It was really my first time being there since I was a little girl. And I really was like, oh, DC is really nice. It's a nice city. And I know there's a lot of people that look like us there. So I'm sure you're having a good time down there in that city.
Yeah.
um, yeah. So let's get started, Kimberly. I want you to tell us what a metaphysician is first, and what kind of work does that entail, being a metaphysician?
Okay, let me start by telling you what metaphysics is. Metaphysics is a division of philosophy that is concerned with the fundamental nature of reality and being. And metaphysicians seek to answer the following questions: who am I? What am I? Where have I been? And where am I going? And I just want to say that metaphysics is not a religion. Once again, it's a philosophy. And a philosophy is the study of the fundamental nature of knowledge, reality, and our existence. And the way that we answer these questions is through one of the practical truths in metaphysics. Everyone in metaphysics is there's one basic truth about the mind in metaphysics. There is one great mind, one universal mind. There's only one, and all minds are inseparable from that one mind, and each individualized mind is an expression of that one mind. And so, what that means is that that one mind represents our creative energy. You may call that mind God, you may call that mind spirit, you may call that mind your higher self. There's so many different names for that mind, but basically what you're doing is seeking within to find out who you are, where you've been, and where you're going.
Wow. Wow, that was very powerful. I love what you said there. And I really connected when you said about the mind and that being all. And that is true. That's the first Hermetic principles, the principle of mentalism, the all is mind and the universal is mental. And it's really the first way that we can find ourselves with this power that we have of manifestation and really creating our own reality based on the mindset that we set forth. So I think that was a brilliant answer. And it really explained it because some people might not know what that means. And I really think that you broke that down well and you explained it well. Tell us, how did you get on a journey to becoming a metaphysician? What led you to that journey?
Wow, this I'm glad you asked that question. I don't say it much, but my life from childhood up until now has been like a spiritual buffet. So when I grew up, I did not just follow Christianity. Um, it was different denominations. Like part of my family were Methodists, and I had to practice in that way. Part were Baptists, I practiced in that way. Some were Pentecostal, which they also call holiness. I had to practice in that way. I was taught Jehovah's Witness. And then the pivotal moment in my spiritual background is when I was about 16 years old. I was introduced to the Nation of Gods and Earth. And during that time is so significant that it happened because in the area I was in, all we knew was Christianity. And I like to say that there has been moments that certain teachers have just floated into my life to teach me certain things spiritually. So learning um, learning the supreme mathematics, the alphabets, going through my lessons, um, I was experiencing a different school of thought that I was used to. And I'm always the type of person that says, yeah, this is okay, but I want to get to the source. And so that led me to studying the Nation of Islam. And that led me, I also study. And when I say study, that doesn't mean that I was in practice, but I was in the process of learning these things to find out more about them, the deeper meanings. And so I also touched on Rastafarianism, the Moorish Science Temple, and then I got into Orthodox Islam. And so, what I found through all of these spiritual experiences is that I may not find everything that I need in one school of thought or practice, but I can take what I learned and what was more important to me and what I needed to apply in my life and apply it and move forward. And so when I tried to figure out, what is this buffet all about? And it was leading me on a path to take me outside of what's going on in this physical realm, to start discovering what's going on behind what we can see or what we can experience during this physical experience with our five senses. And thus, I walked into metaphysics.
Wow. What an amazing journey, Kimberly. And I think that's going to resonate with a lot of people, especially in our community. I think a lot of us go through similar journeys where we're probably introduced to Christianity as young children because of our family and our parents. And then, I mean, if you're along that path, once you get to a certain age, you are going to want to know more because there's so much more to the story. I even resonate with that story somewhat too. So just kind of going through those different elements of the different spiritual journeys and different some religions, some philosophies. And then I liked what you said by going through all of those experiences and then taking the best parts for yourself. That's actually something that they do and that they say, and it's one of the teachings in the nation of the gods and earths. It's always to take the best part for yourself and settle on the best part of the land. And that means the best part of the brain, the best part of the philosophy, the best part of the body, or whatever that best part is for you, is to take those best parts. And it's like the build or destroy degree. You build, you take the best parts to build, and the negativity or the destruction or the things that don't resonate with you, you destroy them by exiling them out of your cipher and sticking with the things that do resonate with you. And that's taking the best part for yourself. So I think that's amazing. Like, what an amazing journey that you've been on.
That's crazy because that's exactly when it comes to my head, that's the first thing I think of, build and destroy. That's what it is.
Hmm. Yep, that's what it is. That's what it is, Queen. So fascinating stuff. So let's get into the astro numerology piece of it. Tell me, you asked me this question when I came on your show, so I want to get your answer. Tell me, what does astro numerology mean to you, to Kimberly? And I think you know what I mean.
To me, astronumerology is a subconscious science that uses energy and symbols such as numbers and planets to express themselves in our physical reality by providing a distinct energetic frequency in anything that it is attached to. So, for example, that would be I'm a number 4 because my birthday is on a 4 day. So my frequency will vibrate on the frequency of the number 4, which is ruled by the planet of Uranus. And so that way, my frequency is going to be like that. That's the energy that I'll be giving off because of these energies that are attached to the symbols.
Yes. So what led you to that? I know you just kind of went through your spiritual journey, but how did you tap into the astro numerology world? How did you tap into that world?
I think that world tapped into me. I did a lot of reading as a child and teenager. One of the books that I ordered, and I have no reason why I ordered this book, but it was a numerology book. When I ordered that book, I tried to read it, and it was just like reading French or something, a foreign language. I could not understand what it was. So I put that book down, didn't think about it. And then when I got with the Nation of Gods and Earth, that probably was like the next year, I began to, not knowing, I began to use the supreme mathematics to um attach, energy to these symbols, these numbers. And I've been doing that for years, even after I stopped practicing with the Nation of Gods and Earth. I still had a thing for, making these numbers fit or finding the energetic frequency for these numbers. Fast forward, there was a time that it was July 4th, and it was not too long. It was probably like, I don't know how long ago it was, but I was in the same place on the same day. So, like on July 4th this year, I was traveling back from my hometown to home. And I just so happened to notice that I was in the same location when I realized that it was July 4th as the day that I moved to my hometown. So I'm like, what is the significance of July 4th? Why is this coming up for me? And so on my trip, I decided, let me listen to a little YouTube. So I turned on YouTube and I used to watch this channel. The guy's name is Brother Dreamwise, and he had on a numerologist on that particular day, and this numerologist was sounding like they were describing me to a T, and I didn't even know what my birthday number was or how to find a birthday number at all. So
Mhm.
I'm like, "Oh, what's going on?" That
Yeah.
numerologist was King Simon. And so when I
Wow.
found out who that was, I started following his channel.
Mhm.
And at that point, I did figure out that I was a number four. And then I first saw Lloyd Strayhorn on King Simon's show, and I started following his page as well. And so that's how I kind of like flowed back into numerology. And the
Mhm.
crazy thing about it, I already had books at home on the subject. So I feel like it was just on my path for a specific reason. So I like to dive deep. I'm a lifelong student. And so I said, let me go for it.
Awesome, Kimberly. Awesome. So I'm glad you said that because it takes us into the perfect segue. So you just was talking about July 4th, and that was the day that you moved into your new home, and then you found yourself on that same day, July 4th, moving back or going back to visit your hometown. And then you heard that on the radio, and then someone was explaining your four individual frequency to you to a T, and you never even met this man. So you're like, how does he know me? Right. So speaking on that, being a number four, you're not just a normal number four. You, my dear, are a master number 22, number four person. So, first, tell the audience what does that mean to be a master number? Talk about the master number 22 and talk about how, just looking in hindsight, how that influence of that energy influenced your path and got you to where you are now. Talk about that.
Well, just as you just said, with the influence of that 22, then yes, I am different, very, very different. Um,
Mhm.
the master number 22, when I was young, I did not know what the number 22 was. I didn't know anything about the numbers. I just knew that I was experiencing more challenges than the average person. And I used to remember myself as a child saying, I've gone through more as a child than most adults have gone through. And I didn't know that it was a part of the training. I guess I look at it as a boot camp. Like with the master numbers, we have the base numbers of numerology that go from 1 to 9. And then we have numbers that vibrate on a higher frequency. And these are the master numbers. And the master numbers would be a double digit number, the same number. So that would be like 11, 22, and 33. It is said that the master numbers have a higher purpose. It is said that the master numbers can bring more challenges to you. When you look at it, it's kind of complex because the master number 22, 2 plus 2 equals 4. So it has a base number of the 4. You're vibrating on a frequency of the 4. Then you have two twos there. So you have a double dose of twos. So whatever the two goes through, you're going to go through it doubly. And
Wow.
yeah, so that's what makes it a lot different than most the rest of the numbers.
Mhm.
And the significant thing about my numbers is that I have the 22 birthday and I have the 11 life path. So I
Mm.
guess I'm just getting it.
You are a master builder, a master visionary, obviously a master manifester. So yeah, I would say so. I would say so. I didn't know your life path was an 11. Wow.
and and so with the four in life, because four is ruled by the planet of Uranus, sudden changes. So in life, I moved around a lot. I was shifted from home to home. There was a lot of changes. A lot of times I can't even remember what happened in which years in my life because we just moved so much. Um, my whole family, everybody that was living in my household when I was staying with my mother was a number four. My mom,
Wow.
and my three siblings. One of my brothers is actually born on the 22. So, needless to say, we were an unusual, unusual family. So, we were kind of different, but a lot of times we didn't think we were different. We just know that people treated us differently. I would say that another thing about the master numbers is the fact that people will see you sometimes as weird and not understand you. So a lot of people kind of thought I was stuck up sometimes because I kept to myself and I was quiet. I noticed that with the number 22, though, whatever I set my mind to do, I was able to do it. So it's like you do have some challenges with the number, but I feel as if with these challenges, the reason why these challenges are a little more difficult than most is because you're learning at a faster pace. I see it as like an accelerated class.
Mhm.
You know how you have the regular class and you have one that's kind of, they speed up some. I feel like that's the case with the master numbers because there is a purpose to help all of humanity with the gifts. So you have to get it right. A lot of secret enemies along the way. So that's a few of the things that happen. I like projects. I love business. Yeah, so those are some of the things.
Very, very, very interesting. I do agree. I also like to say with the master numbers, I think those challenges that you talk about, you're prepared for those master challenges because of the master lessons that you guys go through. Like it's almost like an accelerator or, that second number being a catalyst to pushing you forward in that base frequency. I love the way that you broke that down. Very interesting. It was a masterful breakdown from a master number 22. Very
Thank
visionary.
you.
And
Queen.
that's what it is. It comes with that though. It comes with it, right? It comes with the territory.
And that's why I tell people like if I give a person an idea, sometimes people will take the idea and run with it. Sometimes people will look at it like, oh, she has no clue what she's talking about. But
Mhm.
usually, when I give a person an idea about something, then they automatically like, it does well. You know, oh, I
Yeah.
forgot to mention also the spiritual side of it. I guess you would call the visionary side of it. So it's like my intuition, because of the fact that I have those two twos in the master number and then the two in the 11 life path. um, I'm very sensitive to energy in big crowds. It's like I can feel people around me. I can feel their energy. Like a person's energy meets me and greets me before the person even opens their mouth. And sometimes I can um, see things and I have a whole lot of dreams that um, come to pass sometimes. So it's like the intuition and the sensitivity is strong, but it also helps me work well with others and be able to be a mediator whenever needed.
Definitely. Those double twos will definitely help you with all that. I just think that's amazing. And I love number four people. I have a lot of fours in my name. And my sister was a four person. She was a master number 22. All of her kids were four kids, four people, except for two of her kids. One was a five and one was a nine.
What month was she born in?
You would almost guess it, July 22nd. So she was a
Oh, so
Cancer.
she has the 5. Yeah,
Yeah.
415.
So
Wow.
I just think that it's amazing, and I vibe well with the four. Obviously, our numbers are interchangeable with my two and seven. So it's just pretty cool. You guys are always really good for advice. I have a number four girlfriend who just had a baby. And so she's been, getting to know her new little baby and stuff. And I'm like, I miss you so much. I'm like, I need my four back. I'm like, I need my four back in my life. I do get along well with the fours and we do vibe well together with those interchangeable energies. So I appreciate you guys. You guys are great with the communications, knowing how to really just communicate things and just get things out there. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that a lot from you guys.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Thank you. Thank you. Let's talk about your manifestation mindset coaching. Was there a pivotal moment in your life that led you to that? Or if not, let us know, how did you know that you wanted to be a manifestation mindset coach and what led you to that?
Well, it started with me seeking a purpose. I got to the point in my life where I was like, what is my purpose? What do I want to do in my life? And I knew I wanted to help people. I was already in healthcare, and I was like, okay, I've done, over a decade of helping people in the physical sense. Now I want to help people in a different way. So mentally, I want to help people. But what does that look like? I thought about psychology, researched that. That really wasn't the thing for me. And
Mhm.
one day I just saw an ad about life coaching. And I was like, well, let me check into it. And so I decided to join this life coaching training in which the teacher tried to coach us to get a niche or a specialty for for your life coaching business. And I had no clue what I wanted to do, but I did know what I did not want to do. I did not want to do the law of attraction coaching, and I did
Mhm.
not want to do law of attraction because I felt like at the time a, it was very commercialized at the time, and it kind of seemed like magic. It kind of seemed woo woo, and I didn't know anything about it. So I decided to go with relationships, and I was coaching a relationship client. And I told you I hear things sometimes, and I just started hearing the directions for telling her how to use the law of attraction. And I did not know anything about it. And so, me, I had to go deeper. I had
Had to
to
go
find
study it. You had to go get it. No doubt.
you understand. So I was like, this has to be divine information. So I started researching the law of attraction, and I'm like, no, I want to know what's making this happen, not just what it is, what's making it happen. And what I found out is that it's really all based on the mind and our mindset. And that's what made me started going into manifestation instead of law of attraction, because when people see the law of attraction, they think it's you're trying to teach them how to do a magic trick or something like that. But um the manifestation mindset is having the mindset of a conscious creator that is intentionally creating the life that you desire. A lot of people want to manifest the things, the car, the home, the money. Why manifest or try to manifest those things when you can attract the life? You can create the life that attracts those things. So that's the difference. It's about aligning what you want, because we're already manifesting. Right now, just sitting here, we're manifesting something. And if you're not clear or intentional about living, then 9 times out of 10, you're manifesting on default. You're manifesting on the old programs that no longer serve you. And that's why you continue with the same pattern of manifesting the same things over and over again. So that's my whole spiel about the manifestation mindset.
So I love that, Kimberly, and I had to put this up on the screen. So we're going to have you say this again. She just really told us what we need to hear, guys. She said if we're not manifesting on purpose, with a purpose, then we're manifesting on default. Now, do you want to leave your reality to a default setting,
Hmm.
or do you want to hone in on frequencies to manifest the reality that you want? And it sounds like, Kimberly, that's what you mean by this. Is that what you mean by manifesting on default?
Yes, and to give you an idea of it, think about you're in the plane and you have that feature that says autopilot. That means when it's on autopilot, the pilot is there, but he's not doing the driving.
Right.
So it's like you're in your life just waiting for things to happen for you. And while you're waiting for things to happen for you, the things that you've created before are continuing to occur in your life. And how I found out the what made me come to the difference in this is 1 year. This is the pivotal moment. 1 year, well, it was a couple of years. I got really sick. Nobody knew what was wrong with me. It was something sudden. Number four.
Number
And
four, I was going to say those odd and unusual illnesses that are often misdiagnosed. I'm
I was
sorry.
misdiagnosed several
Hmm.
times. I was going back and forth to several specialists. And I mean, it was bad. I
Hmm.
couldn't walk a few steps without running out of breath. My heartbeat was just going out of control, and nobody could figure out. Every doctor or specialist I would go to would do two things: they give me another bottle of medicine,
Hmm.
and they send me to another specialist. But
Hmm.
what changed all of that was, um, I seemed at that point, it seemed as if I was having a flare up or something. And I visited the doctor, and the doctor asked all the questions, and he was like, "I'll be back with your prescription." And so he came back with the prescription and he handed it to me, and he was like, "Have a nice day." So when I left out of the office, I'm like, finally, I get some relief. I looked
Hmm.
at the prescription, and the prescription was not for another medication, it was for the psychiatrist. And I got mad. I was like, "Oh, he trying to say that I'm
You're
crazy,
crazy.
that this is
Yeah.
all in my mind?" And then I thought about it and I said, "Yeah, it is all in my mind." And that's what sent me on the path of learning more about manifestation and what really
Mm.
matters. And so at that point, when I found that truth out, I had a cousin born on the 11th. He had a party and he invited me to the party. And at first, I was like, "I don't know, cuz I haven't been feeling too good." And he was like, just come, just come. And so for the next 2 weeks waiting for this party, I visualized the outfit that I was going to wear at this party. And I visualized myself at this party having a good time. And there was one more thing. I visualized myself having this little white flower in the corner of my hair. And what I did was I got excited about this party. And I went to the party, made sure I got my outfit like I wanted it, got the little bow for my hair. And I went there and I was dancing. I was able to walk around, and it was like just seeing that shift in my mind change the way I was feeling, let me know that other people need to know about this too. It's a mental shift.
Right. Right. Oh, that's amazing. That is just so amazing. And I know with that one mental shift and having that great time at that party with your pretty bow in your hair, that's amazing. That led you into catapulting this whole manifestation mindset coach business that you have that's really taken off for you and it's doing well. So congratulations to you, Kimberly, on that. Let me ask you, do you or how do you integrate astro numerology with your principles of your manifestation coaching?
Oh, it's so simple because
Mhm.
the way I coach the manifestation mindset is holistically mind, body, and spirit. And when I gave the description of metaphysics, we talked about the one mind and the individual mind. It all starts with the mind. And I'm not talking about, people say the mind and the mind is up here. No, the mind is non local. So, what it really means is that mentally, you have to be prepared and you have to know who you are. Sometimes, for example, um, a person may be going through something and they don't understand why they're going through it. Like a perfect example, I saw a radio personality on a show, and she was discussing about her behavior and how people saw her behavior, and I knew right away that she was a number 9. But a lot of people may be experiencing things and don't know that it's a part of the frequency that they carry. So I use that to help people understand who they are. It's also a great way to manifest your desires. If you know your cycles, what cycles you're in, you know how to set intentions, you know when to set intentions, you know how to prepare for life. So that those are only a couple of ways that I use it to support my practice.
That's amazing. I love it. I love it. I'm going to share the screen real quick. This is one of your podcasts you have on your YouTube. You guys, I want you guys to make sure you go subscribe to Kimberly's YouTube. Her webpage will be in the description. So you guys can go visit her webpage at www.kimberly.com. So let's talk about your show, the Manifest on Purpose show. Tell people about the show and what you do on there, and tell people when they can catch that show.
The Manifest on Purpose show started in 2021, and this is where I wanted to release the information about manifestation to humanity on a large scale. I've been having a lot of fun with it. And what I do on the on the Manifest on Purpose show is what my parents told me not to do. I tell stories. So what I do,
You know our parents don't want us, you know we private people, they don't want us telling nothing.
I tell stories. So I talk about a lot of the things that I have experienced in childhood, growing up, or other people's stories. And there's always a message in the story. There's always a lesson to help you grow and learn from. So it's all about the elevation of your mind and growing to a higher level than you already are.
I love it. So how often does it come out on YouTube? Is there a schedule for it or
It comes out on Mondays and Wednesdays, early morning, 4,
good? All right, you
4.
guys. So Mondays and Wednesdays on YouTube. Make sure you check out the Manifest on Purpose with Kimberly. I have to say it's helped me since I've met you and I've been following you on YouTube. I saw one of the ones that you did. It was actually the same day that we dropped the show that we did on P. Diddy's Numerology on Astro Numerology Revealed, Kimberly's other podcast that we'll get into in a minute, but you did your manifest on purpose that morning. I think it might have been a one universal day, or it could have been a four universal day. It was one of the ones, the one and the four with the Leo and Aquarius. And it was just, it just was like em em it was empowering to me. Just the story, like you said, the lesson that you give within this story. So it really helps. It helped me, so I know it's helping other people. So kudos to you and congratulations on knowing what you wanted to do and really going out there and doing it. And then, not worrying about what the naysayers say, like you said, parents or other people who may not want to see you doing that or see you telling certain stories, but you do it anyway because you know that it's going to help you and it's going to help other people. So I think that's amazing.
Thank you for listening and watching.
Of
But yeah,
course.
be honest, it helps me just as much as it helps everybody else because I'm always the first receiver of that message.
Yes. That's absolutely right. And again, that's a part of the reason why I do what I do here too. Because it helps me first and foremost. And then I know that if it's helping me, it's going to help other people. It just makes everything more interesting. It gets your creative juices going, which I love. I love to be creative, but I got to learn to be creative and be forceful with my creations instead of being too analytical of them at too. So let's talk about your background in communications and studies and marketing. How do those fields enhance your effectiveness as a coach and as a speaker? And how do you integrate that background into what you do now?
Wow, if you would have asked me many years ago about communication, I would not be been able to tell you that my whole career would be focused on communications because I kind of muted myself for much of my life growing up. But
Mhm.
with marketing, I feel like marketing is communication. And I feel also that you can have the best message in the world, but if you don't know how to deliver that message, no one will receive it. So it's important to know how to deliver the messages to people. And communication, I know it just sounds like you speaking, you being verbal, but no, a good part of communication is listening, is eye contact, is gestures. So being able to communicate well helps you deal with people. So I'm able to better deal with people because I know how to communicate from a compassionate and understanding way.
You do. You do. I attribute it to your master number qualities and to you being a four. Uranus is the planet of mass communications. And they say that the internet was founded um, under the period of the four of Uranus. So I think that's pretty cool. I think you guys communicate well, Kimberly. You get your message across. And I love the way that you do, like when you do your titles and stuff, it's just spot on,
Thank you.
spot on. So kudos to you. Congratulations on everything that you're doing. You are really what this show is about. It's about reflecting the positive things that we do as a community, reflecting that back to the culture to show people that if we can do it, you can do it. And not only that, we're here to help you get through some of those times. So if anybody that's out there listening in the audience needs help with any of that, we have the master manifest mind coach here, Kimberly, and she's also an astro numerologist and a metaphysician. So using all of those backgrounds combined, you're going to get the help you need. So this is the type of stuff that we live for, getting good information out to the community on things that can help them. So let me ask you, Kimberly, you touched on it a little bit earlier. You touched on it about the law of attraction. Since you initially had the misconceptions about the law of attraction and you had your own kind of hangups about it, how do you use your hangups and do you use the way that you felt about it to assure your clients that may feel similar about that? Do you use that to assure them that it's something real? Or what do you do to assure the people who feel like it's just magic or hoodoo or something like that? How do you reassure them that the law of attraction is real? And if they set their mindset to what they want, they can create the reality?
Well, I feel like one of the most common misconceptions about it is that a lot of people come to me and they think they have to try to manifest. They
Hmm.
come and they say, I can't manifest.
Hmm.
Something's blocking me from manifesting. And I clear it up just the way that I'm going to clear it up now. We
Okay.
are all manifesting all of the time. Manifestation is just the physical evidence of whatever it is that you have created in your life. So we're always creating something. And I show them that what you're creating is what's already on your mind. And so you have to shift in order to see things differently because life, the reality, is all about perception. It's what you can see already in your physical mind. And if you're not in a space where you can't see growth for yourself, then you won't see growth around you. So the misconception that I work hard to try to avoid or to try to get rid of is that you have to try to manifest. No, you're already the perfect manifester. And I always inspire my clients to know that.
That's great. I love that. You're already doing it. So just focus it. Focus it. So let me ask you about what's your favorite thing about astronumerology? Because we know it's a huge science. There's so many different components to it. What do you like about it? What's your most favorite thing about it?
This is so hard. It is so hard. Oh, this is the hardest question, Queen.
And if you want, you can give a top two or something like that.
Okay. Okay. Be satisfied with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I see
One
it's the master number 22, and I got to give you two.
one of the best things that I like to do is hmm, I like to get deeper into the planets because if you know the nature of the planet, you know the nature of the number and you know the nature of that person's personality. Aside from that, I like the universal year and the personal year. And there's one more that I like. But oh, and I like to do numerical analysis, like go deep into people's numbers, like when I get to know people or even celebrities and stuff, see what's behind the person so much, what numbers are behind the energy that they express. So yeah, those.
That's good. I love that. So your first thing that you love, I love that too. Everything that you love, I love all those things. So those are good answers. Those case studies are interesting. Those case studies are interesting. I do like doing those because for me, I like to see what's going on. Are they doing that? Is something happening in the opposition time? And like, like how's that person handling in that? Like what did the other numbers say about how they would handle an opposition time? So it's like just that just piece to go deeper, that part right there.
You love
That
the
part right there.
opposition part.
I do. I do love that part. I just think it's so interesting. So talk about Astro Numerology Revealed. You started this new podcast. So talk about the new podcast, why you wanted to start that podcast, and just talk about that experience a little bit.
Wow, I just wanted people to. I feel like astrology is so much more known than numerology. And I wanted people to get a deeper look into numerology instead of just the basic teachings. I wanted to go a little further into it, and I wanted to bring in experts that could very well help um, add their own opinions and beliefs in to help us come to the conclusion of what we believe about numerology. And astronumerology reveal is not only intended for astronumerology. Also, I wanted to touch on some of the other sciences, such as astrology, so that we can just get a deeper feel for these ancient sciences that guide our lives.
That's dope. I love the show. Obviously, I was on the show, guys. So make sure you guys go check out Astro Numerology Revealed on Kimberly's YouTube. I just was sharing the screen. The show is so much fun. I had so much fun on it. I had fun watching the other ones you did. So I can't wait to see the next episode. And I want to really just real quick touch on what you just said before in your previous answer when you were talking about your favorite thing being the planets and understanding their nature. And I'll tell you that once I started studying the planets a little bit more and reading about them, that's what got me to know about Uranus being the planet of mass communication and co rules the nervous system with Mercury. I didn't know that before. And now I know that's why sometimes we associate that 4 and 5 together because they have that connection. So it really does. When you study the planets, it really does take you deeper into numerology. And like you said, it's not just giving you that kind of surface level teaching, it's taking you deeper into that science and then really understanding, wow, this planet was on this in this house when I was born. And that's why I'm like this with this type of thing. So that's one of my favorite parts too. So I just think that's amazing. And your show is amazing. Keep up the good work with your YouTube, your podcast with Manifest on Purpose, your weekly wisdom, and the Astro Numerology Revealed. It's a lot that you have going on, but I would expect nothing less from a master number 22, being a visionary person that's a master builder and master energy with this metaphysical science. You have all those twos energy running through you and through your numerology. We know two is very intuitive and analytical, and once it has an inner yearning in connection with its seven, it has an inner yearning to really dig deeper and go down that rabbit hole. So it just seems like that you really have embraced all of these energies about yourself. And I often think that sometimes as people, when we do that and we embrace these different type of things about ourselves, that's what makes us whole. That's what makes us a balanced person. And it helps us to really understand who we are and what we really want out of life. I think what you're doing is amazing. And it's definitely, obviously, a positive reflection that you're giving back to the culture, that you're giving to young Black females. So thank you, Kimberly, for everything that you do. Just wanted to thank you for that and give you your flowers because I love giving people flowers around here.
You're welcome. I'm gonna be like you when I grow up, Queen.
I don't know. I'm trying to grow up and be like you. I'm trying to grow up and be like you. So I don't know. It's
Because
okay. We
I
grow up and be like
enjoy,
each other. Yeah.
yeah, I enjoy cultural reflections. I do.
Thank
I
you.
do.
Thank you. Thank you. Tell
You're
us how you
welcome.
stay motivated, Kimberly. How do you stay motivated, inspired in your professional life and your personal life? You talked about some of the things you do with clients. What are some of the things that you do to help you maintain your high vibrational state?
Let go of the things that I can't change.
Now tell me again for the person in here that ain't listening.
Let go of the things that I cannot change.
Yes.
My mom used to always say, "You don't care, do you?" And I'm like, "No." And my dad had this type of attitude too. And I'm just like, forget it. It's nothing I can do. Let it go. Sometimes you have to do that because if you don't, you'll get stressed out. You'll get stressed out. So I try to sometimes you have to take that time to yourself. Every day, I take minutes of my day, sometimes maybe a few hours of my day just to sit with myself, because that's very important. That can help you be more patient, that can help you be more understanding, and it can definitely help you get through stressful moments. You just have to know that, and maybe it is because of the frequent change due to Uranus. You know that things are always constantly changing, so you just be calm and be peace. Whatever comes, it just comes, and you
Yeah.
find a way to deal with it. But yeah, let go.
Yeah,
Let
let
go.
go. Let go. That's great advice. Great advice. I gotta take that advice one day. Um,
I got you. I got you.
I know you do. I know you do.
I got
Um,
you.
so tell us, what advice would you give to someone that's just starting out their journey towards self-discovery and they want to become a conscious creator of the reality? What advice you giving those people right now?
The first thing is take an inventory of your mindset. When we talk about your mindset, we're talking about your beliefs, the things that you hold on to, the things that you value. You have to ask yourself, are these things still relevant in my life? There's some people that are holding on to things, beliefs from childhood that never even really was for them anyway. They're just sometimes operating off the fear of someone else. So the first thing you need to do is sit down with yourself and get a journal and start inventory your belief, taking inventory of your belief of everything, every area in your life, your love life, your financial life, and see how you really believe about these things.
I think that's excellent advice. Inventory of your mindset. I think we could put that on a t-shirt. Put that on a t-shirt. Take inventory of your mindset. Great. In closing out, Kimberly, this has been really amazing. It's been fantastic. It's been transformative, enlightening. Can you close us out? Close the show out with a breakdown of next year's energy. We're going into a 9 universal year next year. And we're in the season right now in the month that is October that they call preview season. So, talk a little bit about preview season and talk a little bit about what we can expect for next year, 2025, a 9 universal year.
Okay, I'm going to start at what a universal year is. We all have patterns here. And I say, if we want to know how we operate as humans, look to nature. You see that there's continuous growth in nature. And so we should be growing in the same way. So there's a cycle, that there are cycles that we are in to help us evolve. And the universal year is one of those cycles. The numbers go from 1 to 9, and what happens, number one is the beginning of that cycle, and some people say number two is the end of the cycle. I mean, number nine is the end of the cycle, but I really can't say that, because once you're done with nine, you're going right back to one, because we're in the cycle, um in the ninth cycle. Let's look at it. The way to find a universal year is to add the number of the year. So we are going into 2025. Okay, the significant thing about this number 2025, 2 plus 2 plus 5. You're talking about the master numbers, we got that 22 right there. And so with that number, we got two twos. So off the bat, it's telling you you're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to be compassionate. You're going to have to be understanding, even more so than any other year. Two also talks about change, because when we look at the number two, it's ruled by the moon, and the moon is the fastest moving luminary around the astrology wheel. So it's in constant change and flux. So there's going to be a lot of change this year. And then you have the number five. The number five is talking about change as well. So we know that there's going to be big shifts and big changes. This whole number equals up to the number nine. To me, the number nine is a transformative number. So the number nine is ruled by the planet of Mars. Um, Mars can be seen as the warlike planet for a lot of people. But another way to look at Mars too is Mars is the physical expression of energy. So there's things that may happen like confrontation and things of that nature, but you have to remember in accidents, those two twos that said be patient, things are changing at this time, be compassionate, be understanding, so that you won't be affected by that. But what you also should know about that number nine is that this is a time for you to start letting go. We already touched on it. Letting go of things that don't serve you. Because whatever happens in this universal 9 year is going to continue throughout the next 9 years of your life. I mean, well, after the universal 9 year, you're going to be going into a universal 1 year. Whatever happens in that 1 year, it's going to continue for the next 9 years. So this is the time to let stuff go that is not serving you. And I will say that you could you may have to be cautious with accidents, confrontations, cuts, bruises, bumps, things of that nature. But also a way to handle that is, because Mars is this physical expression of energy. Whenever you're feeling like you're impulsive, or whenever you feel like you want to get confrontational, go out, take a jog, do some physical exercise, go to the bedroom, do some type of physical activity to express that Mars energy. So this year, um, those that will it will have a significant impact on, which is going to touch all of us because it's universal. But those born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th of the month, also is going to have a significant impact on Scorpios and Aries. So these are some of the things that you should watch out for. I know I'm skipping some things or leaving out some things because this is just off the top of the dome. But
You're doing
also,
perfect.
thank you.
Perfect.
Also, the first month, I mean, the first month you're going to be going into a one universal month. So what I suggest is that going into this one universal month, you start setting the stage of how you want things to be. You start setting a new beginning. And when you start letting things go that are no longer serving you, what happens is you clear your path so that you can manifest the things that you would like to see come into your life. So, whenever you see these things leaving, just know that there's a purpose behind it and something's coming in to replace what's leaving. But if you decide that you're going to hold on to these things, something's going to come and make you or force you to let these things go. The preview month, which is October, that's the month that we're in now. If you view October, because we're in a universal 9 month, it will tell you it will tell you what you may see in the 9 year, which is the next year going. So pay very close attention to what's happening in this year, because this month can give you a clue as to what your year will be like next year. Also, when you go into November, you'll be experiencing what things will be like in 2026. And when you go into December, you will experience what things will be like for you in 2027. So pay attention. Don't be surprised if you see a whole lot of military uniforms and all that stuff, because now also rules things like the military. Be careful with weapons, and I don't want to say them because you know how they do on YouTube.
Yes.
But be careful on with weapons, especially anything related to fire, and also be careful with no. Also, don't be surprised if you see some kind of law that talks about firearms or something like that happening or going on in next month. So I guess I'll leave it there.
Well, that was an amazing breakdown for the 9 universal year next year. And I really do love how you really did break down the whole number and incorporated some of the methodologies that you should be using from the other frequencies that make up the year to help you navigate through some of those turmoils and troublesome times that the 9 energy can bring. So it was excellent breakdown, fabulous interview. I'm so lucky to have met you in this year, lucky to be able to work with you moving forward, you and everybody in our numerology family. So I just really want to thank you for coming on to Cultural Reflections and welcome you to BTV platform. Black Education Empowers True Vision. Once you're a part of BTV platform, that's it. Your family. You have to continue to come back. You have to collaborate with me. I'm going to hold you hostage and all that good stuff. But we're going to create and we're going to be imaginative and we're going to do great things moving forward for the community. So thank you, Kimberly. I want right now to go to www.kimberly.com. You can book a consultation with Kimberly. She does podcast setup services. She does a lot of different things. So go visit her website so you can get in tune with her. I want you to go subscribe to her on at Kimberly and also on Instagram at underscore Kimberly. And we'll make sure that all of her handles are going to be in the description down here on YouTube. Make sure you check out Astro Numerology Revealed and the Manifest on Purpose podcast. I want to again thank Kimberly for gracing her presence on Cultural Reflection Season 2. Thank you so much. Any closing words, Kimberly?
It's my pleasure, Queen. It's my pleasure. Oh, there's so much we discuss here today. So I'll just say that I'm hoping that everybody gets to the bottom of discovering exactly who they are so that they can be better tomorrow than they are today. I just want people to grow and evolve. Thanks so much, Queen, for inviting me to Cultural Reflections. This is epic. This is
It
epic.
is. It is. So thank you so much, Queen. So with that, we're going to close out. I want to say thank you to everybody that's in the audience that tuned into this live. Thank you to everybody that's tuned into the rebroadcast. Make sure that you like this video. Subscribe to Teller BTV so you don't miss any content. I'm telling you, it is BTV season. And when I say that, I am not joking. You know, I say that over the years when we get down and dirty in our season. We are in the height of BTV season. I got a lot of great content coming at you guys. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you like it and make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. Peace, love, and harmony to the universe.